Hey guys, Dissection of Violence here. We got another one for you. We got UFC Vegas 91. Pretty interesting card. Not at the highest of level card, but we'll break it down for you. Starting off at the bottom, we got Maheshate versus Gabriel Benitez. Honestly, I just like the move to fight ready. I really like this for his career. You'll give him more, discipline. Have good coaches behind him like Santino DeFranco, Eddie Cha. I do think this is going to be a good move for him. Gabriel Benitez, he can keep it competitive on the feet, which does worry me. Maheshate is a little bit hittable. But the thing about Maheshate that I don't worry about in this spot is his youth, and his durability is a little better, obviously. I think Benitez has he got TKO'd from the back by Belly Q. His grappling is just not good. I know Maheshate, you know, we could even see a Maheshate submission. Like, I honestly could see it. It's not a very high percentage thing that could happen, but I think we're going to see a Maheshate win. How he wins is, well, to be seen. I just really think he's the younger, hungrier Lion here who has more to prove. Definitely could be upset 100%, but I'm going to go with Maheshate here, just landing the better shots. If it does go to a decision, mixing in the grappling also maybe. He has some good wins. He has a win over this guy in the regional scene, Canadian guy, who's pretty technically sound as well, like Gabriel Benitez, and he beat him. He beat Achilles Estremadura, pretty good striker in his own right, and he got beat. So I think Steve Garcia and Achilles are decent wins to have. I'm gonna go with Maheshate winning this fight by in the distance, either TKO or submission. We'll see how it plays out, but yeah, if this goes to a decision, this could get pretty sticky. But I'm on Maheshate here. Moving on, we have Ivana Petrovic taking on Liang. Liang's actually good for about a round. She has some tools. She can grapple a bit, she can strike a bit, but she's pretty mid for the most part. Minute she gets tired, it's over though. It's going to be about a round in. She gets tired and she starts to, give up dominant positions for submission attempts. I think Petrovic's going to stay calm. She's a pretty big girl for the weight class herself. I think she's going to just out grapple Liang, get a submission or TKO late round 1 or rounds 2, round 3. I think Petrovic is, obviously the side here. I don't see how she can blow this. Obviously, round 1, it could get sticky. Liang can be a little bit dangerous there. She's very reckless in round 1. She's notorious for that. We'll see if this fight could get extended. If it does, it favors Ivana. So I'm not going to overthink this one. I'm going to go with Ivana here by second or third round TKO or submission. Could even get it late first, but I'm going to go rounds 2 or 3 here. Now Liang is just awful. There's not much else I could say here. Ivana Petrovic is definitely the side. I know I'm repeating myself, but man, I don't know what else to say here. This is a clear Ivana win. Like I said, round 1 could get sticky, but I don't see how Ivana could blow this. If she loses this fight, she deserves to get cut from the UFC, straight up. But we'll see what happens. Now Liang is a veteran. Maybe she pulls a crazy upset. But yeah, moving on, we have Chris Padilla versus James Llontop. James Llontop's he's very, very calm under fire. He knows how to roll with the punches. His chin's a bit high for my liking, but he's very, very good at just making the fight under his terms. If someone's throwing at him, he can see the shots coming. He's very good at intercepting the punches. Timing his counters. I think Llontop is going to be too much for Padilla. He's going to freak Padilla out because I think Padilla is going to land a good shot and Llontop's going to be right there in his face. I think Llontop is just the better fighter here. I don't think Padilla, um, his win over Justin James deserves a UFC shot, but the short notice should call up. We'll see how it plays out for him. Both these guys are have something to prove. I just feel like Llontop is going to be the more talented of the two, and I believe he's going to be calmer of the two. And I do think Padilla is going to gas, and I do see a rounds 2 or 3 TKO for Llontop. I just think um, he's going to be constantly in his face, and I think it's going to wear on Padilla. And we're going to see a later round stoppage for James Llontop. Um, yeah, man, this is definitely an interesting fight, especially on short notice. But I just got to favor the guy with the camp. Um, the A side, I got to go with James Llontop here. Moving on, we have Souza taking on Mann. Oh, Jesus. So we got Souza going down a weight class, which honestly is a good idea considering she was pretty small for the weight class in her previous showings. I do think Mann is awful. Souza has 10 times the talent on the feet. When it hits the ground, it could get sticky, though. That's where I worry. If Souza slips, Mann finds a takedown, this could get sticky. Souza does the right thing. She works her way up. So I'm going to definitely go with Souza here to win the fight by either TKO or decision. But Mann's grappling is definitely not something you want to sleep on. So be careful when playing this spot. I do think Souza wins, but I'm not going to go as far as, to hammer this spot. This is definitely a spot you want to just, see how the fight plays out and then go from there. But yeah, man, I definitely think Souza's aside. Mann striking is abysmal. Her wrestling is non-existent. She's just like she can, man her way through. No pun intended. Man her way through a takedown and get her down, and then from there she has pretty good top game work, but she has some terrible fights, like taking a 1-on-1 girl to a split decision, 3-3. Like, oh my god, like it gets real bad when you look at her record. I gotta go with Souza though. I rate Invicta competition over LFAs for girls, so I'm definitely gonna go with Souza here. I just feel like she's the more battle tested, and she's the better fighter in my opinion. But yeah, definitely think this could get sticky if it hits the floor. Moving on, we have Don'Tale Mayes taking on Kyle Machado. So I was on Kyle Machado pretty heavy initially when he was an underdog, and then I did some soul searching and thought, man, what am I doing putting even a unit or two on this fight? This is an absolute skip spot. Kyle Machado, although he did look good in the McParkin fight, I had to rewatch it to see if it was just him looking good or if it was just the optics, and it was the optics. Kyle Machado just does things. He'll throw up submissions. He'll throw punches in the empty spaces when there's nothing happening. He'll do things, and that's why I'm going to favor him to win this spot. But I do think the height of Don'Tale Mayes is going to cause Machado problems. He's not used to fighting guys taller than him. I do think Mayes is athletic and good at keeping distance. His hands low style is the same as Machado, so they're both going to be playing the same game, in my opinion. And I do think this is going to be a very close fight. Someone could get KO'd, but I think it's going to be a pretty close fight. I'm going to lean Machado here off nothing more than an activity. This is a really, really big pass spot for me. I was on it pretty heavily, actually, and then I realized, man, Machado is terrible. And so Mayes he's not awful, but like he's pretty bad, and he knows how to make fights close. Like the Rodrigo Nascimento fight is a great fight for this fight. Like Nascimento's a more polished version of Machado, and he still had trouble with Mayes' weird, awkward style. So I think I'm gonna go with Machado, but not confident at all, and this is a pass spot for me. Moving on, we have Figlak versus Austin Hubbard. I got to go with Figlak, man. He's got one loss, and that was to Perez, and that's only because when you fight guys taller and longer, they have these weird takedowns, and it can sometimes be a tricky puzzle to solve. I think he just had a tricky fight with Perez, and I don't think Austin Hubbart's going to be the same problems. He's more leg shots. He's more traditional ABCs wrestling. I think Figlak's used to seeing bodies like Hubbard. I gotta go with Figlak by later TKO or decision. I just think Figlak's the more talented of the two. Going the showing he showed against um Holloway was awful. I think Holloway is a veteran, but other than that, he should not be just making you look that easy. I think Figlak's a much more polished version of Holloway. And I think he's that new generation of fighter that it's going to be too much for Hubbard on the feet, and Hubbard's going to be shooting these desperate takedowns, and I got to go with Figlak here. I'm debating what I want to do with this spot. Moving on, we have Ronnie Yahya taking on Victor Henry. Victor Henry. -500 for Victor Henry. I get it. He's the guy that just made Basharat, have a close fight with him, and the whole fan base turned against Basharat because of that fight. I get it. Henry can make fights difficult, but he's not fighting a striker here, and he does give up his back. He is a little bit too, he's too willing to grapple, and I feel like Ronnie is going to make him pay for that. I feel like he's going to make it sticky. Ronnie by decision is a nice little spot. I don't see him submitting Victor, but I do see him winning enough minutes to, get a weird decision. I'm going to go with Victor Henry getting a decision win here, but I know maybe even a later finish, TKO finish, but I think Ronnie Yahya is a live dog. I think pre-betting him is maybe a good spot, but you do got to worry about Victor Henry turning it up. So I'm gonna go with Victor Henry for sure, but definitely don't want to touch this spot. But if you put a gun to my head and told me I gotta play this fight, it would be Ronnie Yahya live, and then we'll see how the fight plays out. But or not Ronnie Yahya live, Ronnie Yahya pre, and then we'll see how the fight plays out. But yeah, this is a pass spot for me for now, but we'll see as the fight gets closer what I decide to do. Moving on, we got Tim Means versus Uros Medic. So we got Uros Medic, pretty established by now. He's very, very dangerous from the outside. Yeah, man. But once you get him to the ground, it's pretty easy from there. Unless you're 40 years old like Tim Means. Tim Means is just at the point of his career where I like MMA Guru quoted the what's his name? Ricky Glenn effect, where you're just too slow, old, and you're just going to get picked apart by these young, fast, hungry lions. I just think Uros Medic is another example of this, and I think Uros Medic knows what he needs to do, knows where he struggles. I feel like Orobe is the next level of talent right now of these new prospects, and I feel like that was just a tough night out. I don't think Means is going to pose near the amount of problems. This could get sticky if Uros gasses, but I don't think Uros is going to gas at this weight class. I think he looks pretty good at this weight class. Yes, he can still gas, but no, I don't think Means is going to be pushing the pace on him to where he's going to gas out. He's 40 years old himself, so we'll see. This could be a really big embarrassing spot like Alexander Hernandez versus Jackson, but I'm going to go with Uros Medic here. I just got to favor the young, hungry lion. He's dangerous, and I think he's going to be landing the better shots from the outside, potentially getting a first-round TKO. So, yeah, definitely a fight where I don't know what to do with exactly yet, but I do think Medic's going to win this one. Moving on, we got Jonathan Pearce versus David Onama. Now, I love Jonathan Pearce. Fights at a fight ready, great gym. He knows what he needs to do: grapple, chain wrestle, grapple, put a pace on Onama. I get it, but I feel like Onama's used to that. He has good guys in the training room with him. Bulgarian, Zalal, he's got good guys to work with in the training room. Onama's good, man. He's a very talented kid. He fought Nate Landwehr. Nate Landwehr had to really work for his grappling exchanges. Even though Onama didn't even really train. Like, I think Onama is taking his career seriously now. He's had time off to, improve. I think Onama is just really dangerous on the feet, and Pearce can't strike. He made, what's his name? Danger. Oh my goodness. I can't remember his name. That's terrible. Anyways, he beat him, and it was just too close. Darren Elkins. He beat Darren Elkins. It was way too close in the striking affair, and the fact he needed to out wrestle him is just a sign that I think Onama's athleticism is going to be enough. I think Brito can deal with it. I think so can Onama. I'm gonna go with Onama here by TKO rounds 1 or 2. I just think Pearce is too hittable, and yeah, man. And the height, he's gonna be level. He's gonna be noticeably level changing when he does level change. I gotta go with Onama here, but the grappling of Pearce could be a problem. We'll see. Moving on.
She won't get far.
Oh, we got Johanna Diaz versus Austin Lane. Now, Johanna Diaz, there will be a time to fade him, but this time is not now. And essentially, Austin Lane is just a chinny football player who, was good at moving on the outside and, sharpshooting somewhat. He's very mid. You're not going to outplay a glory kickboxer at their own game. Diniz is going to find the KO rounds 1 or 2. You don't need to overthink this one. Could Lane make this dicey? Maybe, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Lane is just too hittable. He backs up like with his hands out like he's James Vick. I just can't trust Austin Lane at this point, man. I think Austin Lane is. He's 36 years old. He's not going to be accomplishing anything in the sport, and he's going to be another sacrificial lamb for Mr. Diniz, who's very good at highlighting people. So I see another highlighted real KO for Johanna Diniz. I'll be very shocked to see him lose this, but you never know with heavyweight. It's a very, very volatile division. So yeah, I got Johanna Diaz by KO round 1, round 2, but we'll see if Austin Lane can salvage his career with a big win here. Moving on, we have Corinne Silva taking on Ariane Lipski. So Ariane Lipski, she's good, man. She's looked great. Good wrestling defense. The thing about her that worries me is she's just a little too female. I think she's like her jiu-jitsu's solid, her striking's solid, but she's just too female. I think Corinne Silva, the lab experiment, is just looking great as of late with her, as a jacked. Like, she's jacked. She's, her jiu-jitsu is phenomenal. I feel like she's going to find the submission, either guillotine or head and arm, somewhere along those choking routes. I feel like her chokes are very, very good. I feel like Lipski is just a little too girly, and I feel like if Priscilla Cachoeira can outman her, I feel like so can Corinne Silva on the feet. Corinne Silva can crack as well, so I definitely got to go with Corinne Silva here. I almost was inclined to take a Lipski shot, but Lipski is not fighting another Casey O'Neill, who is very, very feminine as well. I just feel like these girls that are just juiced out of their mind, or maybe not juiced, off the acai. Well, we never know, man. Like, honestly, these girls from Brazil, man, who have I'm not even gonna get into them. I'll get demonetized, but I think Corinne Silva wins this fight. She's gonna outmuscle her, get her down, and her lack of wrestling, I don't think is gonna be as big of a problem because of physicality. But we'll never know with this fight. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's women's MMA. No matter how masculine Corinne Silva is, she's still a female. So this could get dicey. Lipski could look like a clear side in hindsight, but I just think Corinne Silva has all the physicality, all the aggression, and just like last week, Marina Rodriguez and Andrade, I think Silva's just going to outmuscle her, and she's going to be too much, especially when she gets on top. So, yeah. Moving on, we got Bogdan Guskov versus Ryan Spann. Guskov. On the feet, he's going to cause some problems for Spann. He's very, very elusive. Good footwork. Decent footwork. He's got some decent striking, very dangerous striking. I feel like he could cause Spann problems in the striking if Spann gets too comfortable there. But I feel like Spann does the right things. He lands his not long combos, his long punches, his big cross, his hooks. I feel like Spann has the tools to win this fight. I'm torn on this fight, to be honest. I haven't made a clear prediction yet. I'm kind of leaning Spann just with the more tools to win, grappling. But Spann is not the smartest fighter. Guskov is a smarter fighter. He knows what he needs to do, stand and bang. I might lean a Guskov KO. I don't know. We'll see with this fight. I'm still on the fence. For the channel purposes, I'm going to go with Spann, but I'm probably going to end up switching to Guskov by fight day. We'll see. I'm very, very torn with this fight. This is a close fight. Speaking of close fights, we got another one in our main event. We have Nicolau taking on Alex Perez. Another really close fight. I like Nicolau, man. He's a very, very serviceable fighter. Got great grappling, great striking. The thing is, he can get caught with the unorthodox styles of fighters. I don't think Perez is unorthodox, though. He's pretty basic. One, twos, calf kicks. I feel like Nicolau is going to have his success on the feet and just land the bigger shots. I feel like he's going to out-grapple Perez. But it's going to be close. Like, I can see this going to a split. Like, honestly, I have no big take on this fight. I just think that Nicolau is the more proven fighter. Perez has not had a lot of great wins. His last, good performance was with Mikhaev, and Mikhaev is just so fraudulent. It's not even funny. Like, he's got good grappling, but that's about it. But yeah, man, I gotta go with Mateus Nicolau here. He got Alexander Pantoja submitted Perez. I just got to go with Nicolau, man. He's got more tools to win this fight, in my opinion. But they're both kind of good at the same thing, so it's like it's really tricky. It's a really tricky fight to call. I like Perez's wrestling more, but then I also like Nicolau's jiu-jitsu more. So it's one of those weird ones. So I don't know, man. I gotta lean Nicolau, but it's not a confident pick. But I can give you guys my top 5 confident picks. Here we go. My number 1 most confident pick would have to be Petrovic. My number 2 most confident pick would be Souza. Number 3, Diniz. Number 4, Llontop. Number 5, Maheshate. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. And I'll see you guys when all these tickets cash, and I'll see you guys for the breakdown after, because I'm gonna also do another breakdown for PFL. No, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm gonna do another breakdown though for what's this week? BKFC. Stay tuned for that. I don't know what I'm saying half the time. Bear with me. But yeah, I'm on BKFC this week. I'll let you guys know when I'm posting that. But until then, like, subscribe. You know the drill. I'll catch you next time. Peace.